ThatNERDSoul. Late LK at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. And what is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, it's a wonderful episode, a talk shop. We're gonna get into some comics right about now. See, we're gonna celebrate the successful Kickstarter of Monsters and Other Scary-ish. I know, it's a family show, so we're gonna bleep out scary-ish, but it is Monsters and Other Scary-ish. And these are the last two stories we're gonna be talking about because there is so much in this, and I couldn't even try to give you all 200 plus pages. But we're gonna start out with the first story that I picked on is Vengeance. That's right. You get to see the last words of someone who may have been in an illegal business speaking to someone who has passed, and this guy is kind of happy that he's gone, coming to sort of kind of spit on his grave. And the cool thing about this story is that everything that's dead don't always stay dead. And when you go to spit on someone's grave, maybe you should protect yourself if you can, because when it comes to gloating, you gotta protect yourself first. And this guy takes a dip. And when he takes a dip, a whole nother story begins. And you guys need to check that out. Now, if you already have the book pre-ordered and all that good stuff, go ahead and jump down in the comments. Let me know what you think, because Vengeance is short and very sweet, especially when it comes to the consequences of doing things that you shouldn't do. Now, before I move on, I got to give a big shout out to Black Hollywood Live, because I'm chilling with them right now because they are the first and the only online network broadcast for African Americans. And you can check them out on blackhollywoodlive.com, where they follow Black Twitter, do celebrity interviews, hold it down on after shows, sports talk, and all that. And if you want to see more, you can check out youtube.com/blackhollywoodlive. Now, before we move on, don't forget, Vengeance is one of those stories that you might want to stick with a little bit because them consequences get very, very thick. And jump down in the comments. Let's talk about, old enemies, and are you happy that you're gone, or do you just let them rest in peace? So next up is a story called Ghoul. Starts out as a normal night with some hunters in a cemetery. No big deal. Everything is just paint by numbers. But then we get this crazy supernatural action sequence that is full of just bones, blood, bullets, and it's right up my alley. I've said it many times on this show, I love supernatural action. From Ghost Rider to Supernatural to Shadow Man, all of that stuff is right there for me, and I love it. So this, you get a great sequence with, I believe, like 4 or 5 hunters that are trying to track down this ghoul. And the cool thing is that the ghoul has his own motives, and he's not your average ghoul, if you will. And so much so that it throws the hunters off just a bit. When the twist comes, it kind of throws the hunters off and unbalances the scales, if you will. And the story ends up being semi-odd, semi-gruesome, and semi-touching. Because there's some things that just extend beyond this life. So I'm gonna leave it right there because I don't want to go too far and give y'all all the spoilers, but you saw the art. The joint is amazing. And if you haven't seen it and you haven't checked it out and you haven't read it, don't forget to check out Monsters and Other Scary-ish. Kickstarter is still rolling, and you guys need to check that out now if you're into the supernatural, if you're into anthologies. It's super dope. And on top of that, it's packaged so well. The art is great. The writing is great. It's something that I think if you're into horror, if you're into monsters, it'll be great for the table, the coffee table. I think it'll be a nice companion for that. So that's my time. And before I bounce, I got to tell you all to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. You can find all my videos there, from the oldest to the newest, the latest and greatest, and give me a shout. Don't also forget to hit up shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. And don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that nerd soul, because there is no way that I can tell people that you like what you are watching. And of course, gotta give a shout out to LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please, be good to yourselves, people. Be good to each other. Peace.